everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher, and as you can see, we are back home. We got home yesterday afternoon, and we've got about 3 days worth of laundry. I was up at 3:30 this morning because that's like 9 o'clock Norway time, Oslo time, and I got in a workout. I did grocery shopping. I've got a whole day packed in the last whatever it's, yeah. So I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but primarily I'd like to focus this video, and actually the subsequent videos where, because I've still got footage from the travels and also from, the hiking, the 5-day hiking, which was a huge thing. But what I'm going to be doing is interspersing clips from the traveling with the things that then inspired me to do specific things. Because it occurred to me that for those of you who don't travel or aren't particularly, maybe it's not really your interest, it might be more interesting to see how these trips inspire me and where the art then goes as a result. Because they really do. I mean, if there is one thing that I could list as more inspiring than anything else with my creative expression, it would be travel. And so I thought I'd explore that a little bit and talk about that as I show some of the stuff that I'm working on. So it's great to be home. We did bring the gray weather with us. It's pretty gray today, but hopefully it'll start being sunny again. And it's always good to be home, and it's always good to go on these trips. They just feel so exhilarating and exciting. So I hope all of you are well, and I am working on my next vessel. I'm also working on the black and white big piece, and I've got a third piece that I'm starting to tinker it with. So so I'm feeling very energized and excited to get back to my studio where I can really work in a way that I love. It's much harder to work when you're traveling. Least of which, often it's like I'm on a hotel bed because there is no other place to sit. By the way, if there's anything that you are interested in knowing, don't hesitate to comment or ask, whether it's things that I inspire and am inspired by as I travel, and the things that kind of get lost on the cutting room floor, so to speak, and the things that actually stick. I've got a process that just sort of seems quite natural to me, but perhaps not so much isn't to someone watching. So don't hesitate to ask whatever you feel like, and there's no such thing as a stupid question. And I really always, as you know, love engaging with all of you in your comments. It's part of what I love about doing these YouTube channels and working this way. It feels it feels almost collaborative. Well, it is. It's collaborative. Like the vessel. I mean, for those of you who followed that vessel and commented and had thoughts and ideas, and I took it all in, and it definitely helped shape that piece. It was absolutely a collaborative piece. So I love that. I love working that way. Okay, turn you around. This is my desk. Oh my gosh, look at this. So it's just kind of a mess, but I'm going to sort through it. this is the yarn, and I ended up buying quite a bit more because, you know, you go to a yarn store and they have some really cool stuff. How are you going to say no to that? This is the largest of the knitting yarn shops that I've seen. Of course, I have not done a full, fully researched, but this one seems to be the largest. Look, this is the second yarn shop I've seen. Such great yarn shops here. Makes me want to start knitting again. This is very similar to the other one that I thought I was recording and then ended up not somehow. So great. This is much bigger. So here's another one. This is so great. There are so many. How fabulous. Let's see. Oh, so hi. How great this is. So all of this is fun. This is all just like wool, it's just wool. It's, but it's on these little winders and I love these winders. So I got a bunch of them. That's all in Norway. Then I got this, which is really awesome. It's hemp rope. And I got it in all these different colors. Look how great that is. And so that's that. And then, let's see, this is stuff that I brought with me. Oh, and then these are my buttons. Let me put that aside. They had such great buttons. Look at how beautiful these are. Ceramic buttons. This one's so, the snowscape. That's an old one, I think, from Stockholm that I got at that crazy antique place. This is like a rock. I just love the shape. This I actually meant to get something else, but I didn't have the heart to take it back. And then this with this kind of swirl. So I'm gonna add this to my buttons and see see if I can do something with that. And then the final was this amazingly beautiful 100% linen. They had all these different colors. I was good and did not buy every single color. But then they had these. This was all at the knitting shop in Bergen. And then look at this. This is linen, 40% linen, 32% cotton, 28% viscose, so nylon of some kind. But isn't that beautiful? Oh, just love this. And I thought, well, this would be so much fun to stitch with, even though it's a knitting yarn. Okay, so now I have to sort through everything, and I want to show you what here. Oh, by the way, I get these questions a lot. People say, where do you get your thread winders? Look down below in the description of the video. I have an updated link for these guys. They don't look exactly the same, but they're totally the same dimension. They're cardboard, they're flat. And you can click on that link and it'll take you right to Amazon, and you can buy them from Amazon. So just when in doubt, go look at the description. If I haven't put it there, then yeah, definitely, of course, tell me, and I will amend it and put whatever it is down in that. But that's what that area is really for. Sometimes you have to go to, scroll past all the stuff about my bio and all that stuff. Okay, so here is my piece that I've been playing with. No, that's actually not the piece that I've been playing with. It's here. And and this is from the cruise, the Havila Pollux, the cruise ship, the crazy cruise ship. It evidently had something like 600 people on board. I don't think it could possibly. We never saw anyone, but it was a huge, huge thing. And it was an interesting experience. I don't personally love that way to travel, but it was a fun thing to do, and I'm glad we did it. These I got in Trondheim in Norway. I just ran into we passed this art supply. I said, honey, I got to run in, and I just bought some Poscas, even though I've got a ton of these at home here, right in back of me. I purchased some pens from the local art supply. This one you can actually, this is a Posca, and so it's acrylic. And you can actually, if you do this while the cap is off, you can get these kind of splatters. And then this one is this is a pen, and I'm just extending my thread marks to go up. So here I have thread marks, that. And then I had this idea, which was to stitch into this plastic bag that I got from this yarn place in Bergen. And I thought I would try to do some stitching. So I'll do that, and then I can take a photo and you can see what I'm doing there. But this is where I am with this piece right now. This is the splatter from the Posca pen. And I'm doing these darts, so I'm getting this different kind of ballooning effect, which I rather like. This I'm not sure about. I put that in here, but I might add more so that it's not just sort of this random weird splotch. I can also just remove it, stitch it over it. So I'm just stitching this plastic bag, and I've just ripped it, and I'm just stitching it now with some thread that I had on a needle. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to gather it in different places. And I had this idea that I wanted to sort of mimic like a waterfall. Probably better to do it in like a white thread, but and then I'm not sure about this, that's in the bag itself, whether I'm going to use that or not. But so I'm just doing a running stitch kind of very quickly down and pulling it through. And then I think if I like this, I might do this with white thread as well to kind of get like a whooshing sort of feel. And then I can put it on my piece here somewhere and add it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. This is from the Hevia. We had to have, this was like our name thing, and in order to come and go, you had to have it. So I was thinking I might put this over here where it kind of blends in with the blue. You can see where I splattered some of the Posca here, and yeah, so that's kind of what I'm working on. The waterfalls in Norway are just so well. They're world renowned and they're spectacular, and there's a reason they're world renowned, because they really are just absolutely beyond. And so I wanted to see if there was some way to kind of capture the essence of water with this plastic, and also just reusing stuff so that it's not just getting thrown into landfill. All right, so I played around with this and I ended up cutting strips inside the bubble. I couldn't find that thread, that fuzzy thread that I have that's white. It's here somewhere, I think, but maybe I used it, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm doing with this. I'm going to put it aside until I have a place for it, but right now I don't. So I'm just going to set that aside. And in the meantime, I have this rice paper, and I've used it on several other projects, including the big black one, black and white piece. And I just sort of tore some of the circles out. And I don't know how many I actually want, but I kind of like these 3, so I thought, well, let me work on that. And I'm just threading up this mending wool that I got in Bergen in Norway, and I'm just going to tack this down with a running stitch here, here, and here. I'm covering, this is the Oslo Museum sticker, and I'm going to just sort of not center it, but kind of put it here, I think, like maybe like that. So that one's there, this one's here, and I thought I might put this in here like this. I did this with the Posca, and I don't love this sort of yellow blob, so that's okay. I can stick this in here like that and then stitch that down. But I sort of like that. I also noticed that things are kind of going vertically, and I don't want that. So I'm going to add some other elements that are more rounded to this as I go. But for now, let's do this. And again, I'm just going to stitch it down. With this wool thread, because that's what I had, and Why not? I do not have a big vision for this piece yet. It's kind of just, right now it's just in the very, very preliminary stages of being, throwing stuff together. I don't have, I have this idea that I want it to be a vessel, but beyond that, no. This I got in Stockholm, and it's a brad, and I just pierced it and then put it down, and that's kind of nice. I like that. But I don't want everything kind of going vertically. That I don't want. So I'm going to mix it up a bit. I might do some machine stitching in here. I'm not sure. I have to pull together other materials that I want to add onto this. I think I want to throw some wool in. Wool is so nice to work with because it's just, so easy to stitch in, and it's like burlap. It's just lovely to stitch, and it lends a kind of texture like burlap. I also have a whole bunch of t-shirting that might be fun to throw in here. Everything was so green where we were traveling. You could really see why. It was so wet. We had so much rain. We were very lucky because in the beginning we didn't have a lot of rain, and then at the end we kind of got just pounded. Once we hit Bergen, and everyone, whenever we'd go somewhere and they'd say, "Where have you been?" And we'd say, "Oh, we went to Bergen." They'd say, "How was the weather?" or we'd say, "It was very rainy," and they'd go, "Oh yeah, well that's kind of Bergen." Evidently it rains 200 plus. So for about 100 days, a little more, you don't have rain. But otherwise you got rain. We really saw that. We also were told that it was the wettest August they'd ever seen, that it was kind of incredible. And of course, the day we left, it was supposed to be 80 degrees or almost 80 degrees in Oslo, and they were saying this is incredible, the weather, that they don't have that usually, that the August had been very sort of cold or cooler than normal and much rainier. And now September, they were seeing all this warm weather. It's very funny. Oh, but boy, do I loved Scandinavia. What a beautiful, beautiful country. Clean, and the people are just so lovely, and we had such a nice time. We met this Norwegian guy on the train, who was going to Voss, and those are those magical moments where you just, it all just sort of seems so magical, really. And then in Trondheim, we met this American couple from LA, and they were I just loved her, and so we've been in touch now. I'm like, oh, I have a new girlfriend. I love that. But it's just, meeting people, having conversations with people from all over the world. It's that I love that. I love that part. That's one of the things I really makes me so happy about traveling, is you get to meet people from all over the world, doing all kinds of different things. On my hike in Lapland, where we left from Jokkmokk, and I'm going to edit those videos. I was waiting because Matti, the guy who runs the company that I hired to take me, I signed up. He has these groups, and I signed up for the group hike, and he had some video and he was going to send me, but I think it was really hard to send, and we didn't airdrop it before I left, which was really not smart. But he takes the most beautiful photographs, and so I was hoping I could include some of it in my videos, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna start editing the video without it, and it's too bad because he's a very good photographer, and he has like this whole setup, and it's quite lovely. So, all right, so that's that, and then I'm going to tack this down just in here so that it kind of stays. And then I'm going to do that one other circle here. And then I'm going to rethink. Add. I think I'm thinking wool, but maybe I add some of this really lovely linen. This is from Pat Polly. I just love her stuff. And this is so beautiful, and it's got that kind of water, Northern Lights feel to it. So I may play around with that.